Good morning. All right. Unfortunately, on a beautiful day, I have to talk about a not so beautiful subject. The topic is voter intimidation, voter fraud, and vote buying. First, let me say I'm not standing here as a political candidate. I'm standing here as the mayor of a town where we've received multiple complaints of voter irregularity in the city of New Roads over the last 12 years. Complaints recently that were made to both the police chief, myself, and the sheriff's office. Men and women have fought for our right to vote, and today I'm standing here defending that right for everyone who's legally allowed to do so. Some background information that you need to know. The Secretary of State's office recently reported on Sunday the following statistics of overall early voting in the state of Louisiana. Approximately 70% of early voters are white and 30% are black. In the city of New Roads, it is unusually opposite. 74% of the early voters are black in the city of New Roads and 26% are white. This has been a pattern over those same years that I referenced about voter irregularity. Now to the facts. Either myself or the chief of police received multiple complaints about voter irregularities. Today, 3 of those complaints are being investigated by the Ponkapee Parish Sheriff's Office, the Ponkapee Parish District Attorney's Office, and the Secretary of State's Office. There are a total of 4 people being investigated: Cornell Dukes and 3 of his campaign workers. The 3 incidents were: first, voter intimidation by Cornell Dukes himself. On the same courthouse property where early voting happened, Cornell was cited here 3 times and did not leave. Also cited taking pictures of people as they entered into the building. It is against state law for a candidate to be within 600 feet of a polling area. Cornell did not leave until he was forced to do so by sheriff's deputies. Vote buying. We have a tape-recorded statement in which a gentleman admits to being coerced to vote by payment of, unfortunately, 40 ounces of beer and $2. I'm going to tell you right now, a vote is worth more than 40 ounces of beer and $2. Here's the tape recording. We're not here with hearsay, we're here with facts. Okay. Final complaint is voter fraud. And this is the one that's most troubling. I received a complaint a few days ago from a mother of a mentally disabled child, adult child, that was driven to vote by the Dukes team. This was particularly disturbing to this mother because she had told the Dukes team twice to leave the premises. Once by phone and once in person. The victim reported the incident to the Registrar of Voters office and asked that her vote not be counted, her son's vote not be counted. It was also reported to the Sheriff's office and to Dukes. Dukes' response to this victim was that, "Ma'am, you don't know how important this election is," showing no remorse at all. I'm here to say that no election is so important that voter intimidation, vote buying, and voter fraud should be accepted. These fines are punishable with up to these crimes are punishable with up to a $2,000 fine and 2 years in prison. Chief McDonald and Captain Farb did the investigation and conducted initial investigation and turned this over to the proper authorities, and that's what Chief McDonald will speak of, how they turned it over to authorities and how the city of New Roads is no longer involved in the investigation.
Upon receiving the complaints, we retrieved the initial information. We then met with the district attorney's office to make him aware of the allegations. At that point, we then met with our sheriff, Sheriff Bud Torres of the Point Beach Sheriff's Office, as well as the Secretary of State's office, to advise them of the accusations, and they told us they would then continue and conduct the investigation.
I'll just take a couple questions.
How do you know that the Secretary of State's office is in fact investigating this?
Could you meet with him?
We met with them on yesterday.
And how do you know they are investigating this?
They advised us that they would do a follow-up investigation.
Do you have any proof or anybody? Can you give us a name who spoke with someone there? And why aren't they here today? If they're
Where are the
investigating?
complaints?
Okay, I already outlined the 3 complaints.
They're coming out of your.
I've already outlined the 3 complaints. The chief met with both the DA, the Secretary of State's office, and the Sheriff's office.
Why are they not here today?
I can't answer that question for you. Any other questions?
You say that you're here as the mayor and not as a political candidate, but it seems so convenient that you're saying things that would directly harm your main political candidate. How can you say that and honestly look at the voters and tell them that this is something that you're doing solely as a mayor and not to try and win an election?
Well, here's the deal. I truly believe that if the citizens of New Roads want a different mayor than me, that is their right to do so. But I will never buy their vote or intimidate them in the fashion that has been reported to us and the pattern that has happened in this place. I have an obligation as the mayor when these incidents are reported to turn them over to the proper authorities, which we did.
Where's the
Thank y'all very
substance
much.
in
Thank
your
you.
Allegations? Mayor,
Mr.
what
Mayor, Mr. Mayor.
Don't walk away, Mayor.
Mayor.
Mayor, we're asking you. You're the ones making the allegations. We wouldn't even be here.
I didn't make the allegations.
You called the press conference
I called the press conference to
And-
tell you that we've received allegations. It's
right
okay.
before an election.
Well, that's normally when voter fraud happens, right before an election. And I'm so sorry that
When did
happened.
the
Thank you all very
allegations
much.
of voter fraud happen?
Sir.
Mr. Mayor.